What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of That Fuzzing Rock Show interviews. Got a banger for you guys today. I've been waiting for this one for a little while. We're going to bring him in right now. Sal LoCoco from Sworn Enemy, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Fuzz? How's everything,
How you, brother? Dude, listen, man, if it was any better, I wouldn't know what to do. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
So we're going to welcome you first to the show. I appreciate you taking your time to hang out with us. Definitely.
My pleasure. Definitely. Thank you for having me, man.
I definitely appreciate it. We're here to talk about, mainly we're going to talk about the upcoming gig you guys have here locally at Empire Live in Albany, New York with the Straight Jacket one-time reunion show, man. It's Underdog.
That's going to be awesome.
Guys, Underdog, Sworn Enemy, Spirit Killer. I can't even read my own writing. Grand Street. It's terrible, man. I'm blind as a bat, even with glasses on. And Assault on the Living. I'm sorry about that, guys. I apologize. That's going to be set this coming Saturday, actually, March 9th, 6:30 p.m. The show starts. Ticketmaster and the Empire box office for the tickets. And we're going to get to all that in just a minute, guys. Listen, we're here to have a chat. That's what we're going to do. So let's start out with, talking about the band, man. You guys have been a band since like 1997.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. So tell us how the band formed and who's in the band today.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, how we formed was just guys get together, hanging out, going to the studio, jamming, having fun, on the weekends. And we never really thought anything about like being serious with it. It was just more like, Friday night, let's go hang out at the studio, get some 40s or whatever, get some blunts, have a good time, And from there, it just, I guess we just started writing music that people liked, and, things started to work for us, and we started getting shows, and, we, at the time, Kevin Scandato, who was the booker at a place called Castle Heights, he took us under his wing, and he got us shows at our first couple of shows out of state, and started getting us some gigs and stuff like that. Next thing you know, we meet up with Jamie Josta from Hatebreed, and he put out our first EP, and it's history since.
Off to the races, right?
That's it.
So now you guys started out as Downfall, then Mindset, and then you guys switched to Sworn Enemy. What was the deal with the name changes?
Well, Downfall was like 1995. That was even before we were doing anything like serious. But Mindset is when we started like being a little more serious with it. And we would have kept that name. The only problem was at the time there was another band called Mindset who, I don't know how the hell they got my number, but they called me and they told me that if we don't change our name, they're going to sue us. Because they said that they had the name copywritten. And Jamie didn't want to put out the EP knowing that there was like, we're going to have legal problems with this other band. Sure. So he's like, you guys got to change the name. So, we racked our brains and we came up with Sworn Enemy.
There you go. That's good. So now from the early days of Mindset, we'll say, to the Sworn Enemy that we know today, you guys have released at least eight, including Negative Outlook. As real as it gets.
Six albums and two EPs.
Total World Domination, Game Changer, and so let's go way back to like the 7-inch that you guys put out in 98. In your opinion, how has your sound changed, if any? How has your sound changed from those early Mindset days to the band you guys got today?
Well, we always had the breakdowns, but I think now it just got like more thrashier. We probably were more like conventional hardcore sounding with our fast stuff back then. Now it's more like thrashier. We got like more like metal influenced as time gone on. But I mean, we always had the breakdowns though. The breakdowns were always there. That was something that everybody, no matter what, always loved. We loved the breakdowns.
Almost a necessity in this song. So I forgot the question before a couple actually back before. Who's in the band today? Let's give them some props.
Right now we got Jeff Cummings on guitar, we got Matt Garzilli on guitar, we got Mike Pucciarelli on bass, and we got Taquan Jackson on the drums.
There you go, fellas. I didn't want to leave you guys out, all right? I didn't want to leave you out. So we talked about your past releases. Now, do you have a personal favorite of your past releases? Do you have like one that you kind of dig more than the others? Or?
I think my favorite's probably Game Changer. I think it's the most complete record that we've done. But when it comes to like everything, sound, the quality, the music, the lyrics, I think that record is like 100% the best of everything that we've done.
How about you guys in your writing process? What is the writing process for the band? How do you guys come
It's
up with?
No matter who's been in the band, it's basically always been the same. I always like tell the guys, just bring music to the table and I'll just write lyrics to it.
Simple. That's good. That's a good thing. So the band has always had that really raw, like brutal sound. Who are some of the influences that kind of shaped that sound for you guys?
Oh man, for me personally, I could say like when I was growing up, I loved Slayer. Slayer was one of my favorites. The Cro-Mags, Biohazard, Marauder, All Out War, Leeway. A lot of bands.
All the greats, man. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking of Biohazard, we just had the boys up here this weekend.
Yeah, I know. If it wasn't raining Saturday, it was pissing buckets down here where I live. I was going to drive up to the show because my bass player and guitar player were already there.
Yeah, I saw him. I did see him there. So
yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. I call it like either rapid fire, fast five, or something like that. I'm gonna give you 5 questions right in a row, kind of rapid fire, as quick as you can. You don't have to answer them quick, but as quick as you possibly can. We'll get through them quick, and then we'll move on. So, do you remember the name of your first band?
Yeah.
Do you want to give it up?
Corruption.
All right. Do you remember the first gig that you ever played?
Bond Street Cafe.
Damn, you're good at this. What is the most famous person in your phone right now?
Randy Blythe.
One album that you could not live without?
Age of Quarrel.
Biggest on-stage oops. This one always gets people.
I did a jump and hit my head on a beam in the ceiling, and I fell on my ass.
Listen, you have the record for answering these questions. Let me just tell you, that was good, man. That was quick. That one usually stumps people. They're like, oh, geez, there's so many, But
there was another one I was thinking of. We were in Czech Republic, Brutal Assault Festival, and it was pouring rain, and I did a jump and I slipped on the stage and fell on my ass again.
So now that you mentioned that, like the overseas stuff, let me ask you this: Do you recognize like a difference between like overseas, like the Europe folks and the people here, the crowds here?
When we used to go over there on a regular, I did. I mean, I can't judge anymore because we haven't really played a lot in the States. Like we used to tour the States a lot, but now over the last, I'd say 10 years, maybe we did like 2 US tours. So I can't really judge anymore. I don't really know. I'm kind of like, I guess, out of the loop when it comes to stuff like that. But I could tell you this: back in the day, you could definitely notice a difference. It was Europe was sick, super. It was like great. You used to look forward to just going there and just smashing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that I've asked that question say that like the European crowds are kind of like super energetic. They're super into it, and not to take anything away from the US crowds, but they say it's just different. You know what I mean? Both of them are energetic, and it's just different. That's what,
I have to agree with that. But I have been watching a lot of videos from a lot of the festivals that have been going on over the last few years, and a lot of these new up and coming bands that have really been killing shit have been, you look at the crowds, it's like, holy shit, that's sick,
Yeah, bro. So, some of the pits you see are absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I mean, you see bands like, Pain of Truth, Bayway, Tsunami, just to name a few. These bands have been, you look at their crowds and it's just like, whoa.
So now let's talk about you for a minute, if you don't mind, anyway.
Sure.
What first made you want to be a musician?
I didn't. I just
No,
it just fell into my lap because, like I said, when we used to go to the studio just to hang out, I didn't play any instruments. So I was just there for moral support. You know, I would drink and smoke, and that was about it. But one of my friends who played guitar at the time, I never really did anything with him in music, but he's like, you know the words to all of these songs. Why don't you just sing them so we can have somebody singing? You know, because we used to just do cover songs. You know, we do like Overkill, we do like Nuclear Assault, we do Slayer, Metallica. And I knew all the lyrics to all the songs, and he just says, "Yo, just sing them. At least we have a singer."
So, what about some of your early influences? Like when it was like we're talking like young Sal. What are some of the early influences for you?
Young Sal, like how young you talking? Because the music changes drastically after a certain age.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about like 15-year-old Sal. Let's go back that
15-year-old. Okay, so you're talking 1986. I mean, that was probably like a lot of Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Anthrax, Metallica. Probably that's a good portion of this. Maybe Van Halen. Let's see, what else did I have on the? I did dig the Police. I listened to a lot of like radio stuff too, you know, like I liked Phil Collins. I always thought he was great. You know, when he was with Genesis. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably a good run of stuff that I like.
Do you remember the first band that ever got you towards the more heavier stuff? You remember the first band you heard?
Yeah, it's probably Judas Priest or Iron Maiden, one of them two. I remember being in the 7th grade, and 7th grade, how old are you? 12? Yeah, you're 12 years old. Okay, so I remember being 12, and my friend came to school with his, you know, loose leaf back then, and he had a Defenders of the Faith on a sticker on his loose leaf, and I'm like, wow, what is that? Because you know the cover had that big colorful looking beast on the cover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? He goes, oh, you never heard of Judas Priest, bro? I said, no. And then that was he gave me his headset. And, you know, back then everybody had the Walkman, so he had it in there and he let me listen to it. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool.
I remember going back, and I think mine was more of like the Screaming for Vengeance album, but some very similar taste. But I think the band that really kicked it for me was a band called Witchfinder General. Some people are like, wow, who the fuck is that? But yeah, it's going way back, dude. But I heard them and I'm like, oh, that's it. What is that? That's, you know, that really turned me onto it. And then I progressively got into some heavier stuff. Do you remember when it changed for you, when the music drastically changed?
Well, it's probably, I'm gonna say like around, was it I guess it was 87, because I started, you know, from Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. You know, it's obvious to make the progression to like Anthrax, and Anthrax became one of my favorites. And you know, I was going to a show to see them play in the city. They were playing with Flotsam and Jetsam and the Cro-Mags. And
what a show that is! Holy shit, man!
I had no idea who the Cro-Mags was, and man, the minute they hit the stage, I was like, "Oh, that's it, it's over."
Jaw drops. That's it.
That's absolutely, it. Man. That's this is what is this? This is what I wanna listen to. You know, I went and bought the Age of Quarrel, and I looked at all the thank yous, who they thanked and shit, and that was it. I just started buying all of those records.
There you go. Now, is there anybody out there that's like newer bands, newer music that has your ear right now?
Oh yeah, dudes from Bayway, straight out of New Jersey. Them dudes, they kill it. Good friends of mine, Cropsy from Staten Island.
Cropsy, yeah, they're a good band.
They kill it. You know, Pain of Truth from Long Island, they kill it. Those are all really, really good bands, man. I love those bands.
So, I mean, you've been a member of the New York hardcore scene for for years now. I'm not trying to date you or anything, but so from early back in the day, in the back of your early days in the scene till now, do you notice a change in that New York hardcore scene, or has it kind of stayed the same?
I mean, if you go to a show today, it's and you got bands like Madball and Elastic Front come play. It's like things have never changed. It's still packed house, crowds going crazy, sing-alongs. It's like you feel like you're still like in 92, 93, 94.
Yeah, the good days. So when you and I first met, we met at the Extreme Music Awards up here in January.
Yes.
And just to see Stigma being Stigma, and he just hasn't changed. He's absolutely out of his mind. I love that dude to death, man. It was just
that's him.
Yeah, yep. And he's just unapologetic. He's just like, so I'll give you a little story. You saw the guitar in the back that everybody was signing there.
Yes.
So I asked, he was the last one to sign, and I asked him, I'm like, can you sign this for me, man? He's like, absolutely. Snatches it out of my hand. Doesn't sign the front, signs the back because he's Stigma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he signs it, hands it back to me, like looks me dead in the eye, and he goes, Stigma. And he walks away. That was it. I'm like, my son was with me. He goes, who is that? I'm like, that's like, it's a Godfather of hardcore. That's really Stigma, Yep. And he goes, I said, he marches to the beat of his own drum. My son goes, understood.
I mean,
he knew. It's just like, he's such a cool
dude. That dude personifies hardcore, man. He's the man.
Open up the dictionary. Yeah, open up the dictionary, flip the hardcore.
It's got a picture. It's got a picture of Vinny right there.
Yep, absolutely. So let's talk about this gig you guys got coming up here. Speaking of Albany, this weekend, March 9th, Empire Live in Albany, New York, the Straight Jacket One Time reunion show. It is Underdog, Sworn Enemy, Spirit Killer, Grand Street, and Assault on the Living. Tickets are $20 in advance. They are $30 at the door. You can get them at the Empire box office on Ticketmaster. And so how did this gig come about? How'd you guys jump on this?
I got a text from Valente at like 6:30 in the morning a while back because he I guess he doesn't sleep, but he likes to wake people up. And he said, "Yo, you want to play the show?" Simple. Said, "Let me talk to the guys, see if they're all available. I'll get back to you." Talk to the guys. They all said, "Okay." Boom, done, finished.
I honestly think that they just kind of plug Mike in at night for a couple hours, let him recharge, and then unplug him and off he goes for the.
He's got solar panels on his head.
Yeah, that might be too for sure. So, how do you guys go about picking your set lists?
I just let them pick it. I don't have nothing to do with the set list. I let these guys pick it however they feel comfortable playing it, because I'm comfortable playing anything. So, for me, it doesn't make a difference. I just say, all right, let me know what it is, and when you're done, and send it to me, and I'll go over it.
So now, what? So people that have never seen Sworn Enemy before, what can they expect from your set?
A lot of noise, a lot of energy,
bodies flying.
I like to hope that that's the outcome. Bodies flying and people doing a little something on the dance floor.
Jump in a circle and hope for the best, man.
That's it.
So you guys are mixing it up with new stuff, old stuff, like
we always. I mean, we probably play a heavier dose of the older stuff, but
mm-hmm.
we play a lot of the newer stuff too. We throw some in there. We throw a lot more of the Game Changer new stuff in there. That's like. I like the Game Changer stuff. I wish we could play more of it, but right. People like to hear the old stuff,
All I can say is prepare for payback. That's my request. If I could put a request in, that's my request.
I don't think that's one of the songs. I don't think that will never not be in the set list. Just I mean, there's songs that you just don't not play. There's like Sworn Enemy, obviously, As Real as It Gets, We Hate, and Prepare for Payback. These are like
staples.
They just you know, and We Hate is just like such a stupid song, but people fuck each other up for that shit.
But they love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
All right. So, you guys have any other upcoming gigs you want to throw in there while we're at it?
Well, March 17th, St. Patty's Day, we're playing Hatebreed's 30th anniversary. Yeah, so playing the Oakdale Theater in Wallingford, Connecticut, which is, I mean, my first time there. But when I hear playing a theater, I think of like someplace big. So I'm like, whoa, yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and to play with Hatebreed, I mean,
yeah,
plus, you know, a lot of friends are going to be there. Shadows Fall, 100 Demons, With Honor. You know, there's going to be a lot of bands. So it should be a really good time.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy for sure. Now, do you have a venue that you absolutely love to play? Like if you had to pick one that was your favorite, do you have one? Or
if I had to pick one that was my favorite, I just love them all. I think pretty much, you know, I just like being on the stage. As long as it's got somewhat decent monitors and I can hear myself, I'm fine.
There you go. That's easy enough, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pry for a little bit, and you can respectfully decline to answer if you don't want to.
Sure.
What's next for you guys? Do you guys have any plans for any new music coming up down the road, or?
Well, from what I've heard, because I haven't actually heard anything new, but
all right.
I mean, the guys have said that they've been working on some new stuff. They got new music ready to go. I was like, okay, well, maybe somebody wants to run something past me so I can hear it.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
But yeah, they said that they got some new stuff. So I'll hold them to that. And, you know, when we actually get together and start jamming a lot, I'll see what they got.
There you go. Well, you're going to have to give us a sneak peek and let us know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So do you guys have any plans, like any tours you guys are thinking of doing, or are you guys putting some together?
In April, we got 4 shows in Japan. So we're going there for a week.
Oh, wow.
Over the summer, from like end of June to July, we got Europe. So we're going to head over there for like 4 weeks, I think. Mm-hmm. And then when we come back, we're probably going to, actually, we got a Canada run when we come back in August with Brick by Brick and Hoods. So I think we're doing 4 or 5 shows up in Canada.
God bless you, man, because Hoods and Brick by Brick, get them together and
I know bad things happen.
Forget about it. Forget about it. So do you have anything else you want to talk to the folks about before we wrap this little thing up?
Oh man, it's just thank you for having me on the show, and I appreciate everybody that's listening. And you know, everybody keep on doing their thing, and let's keep this music thing going.
Man, absolutely. Listen, I definitely appreciate it. You are welcome anytime. You got something to promote, you know I'm here for you, man. For more info on Sworn Enemy, you guys can check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Sworn Enemy NYC. And check them out on your locals, or I'm not your local. Check them out on your streaming platforms. Search for them on YouTube. They do have a YouTube channel with a bunch of stuff on it. So go check them out and make sure you guys are supporting, because that's what it's all about.
100%.
Sal, my man, I appreciate you, bro. And like I said, anytime, man, you're welcome on anytime. So
thank you very much, Fuzz. I appreciate the time, bro.
All right, brother. Everybody, that is Sal from Sworn Enemy. Thanks, brother.
Peace.